Okay, so day one ended where we finally found the crime scene that our friend, Detective Mosley, was working at. And this woman, I think it was Malia Geda, drove up while we were there. So I've asked Grace to research that. I made a photocopy of some of the evidence from his folder with the voodoo symbols in it. I still don't know why he said his mother's maiden name was Humphrey. So that probably is going to be significant at some point in the future, I hope. Alright, let's read the paper here.
Times-Picayune, dated June 19, 1993. A front-page article describes the most recent of the voodoo murders. Gabriel scans it but learns nothing new. The article reiterates that the voodoo aspect of the crimes is fake. Gabriel shivers. It looked real enough to him. Elsewhere, there's an article about the history of Jackson Square, called La Plaza d'Armas. Under French rule, it was used for executions, firing squads, hanging, even impalement and breaking on the wheel. Yikes! Of course, these days it's mostly a hangout for tourists, street musicians and local artists. Gabriel also scans the Aquarius horoscope for the day. Chances of a dark star rising on this day. Do not trust your instincts.
I feel a dark star rising, all right.
Okay.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Could you do some research for me?
Sure, what?
I can't think of anything.
Okay.
Well, I asked her to do research on Geda, Miss Geda. Apparently she didn't get anything. Let's see, messages.
Do you have messages for me?
Nope. None right now.
You can.
Nope.
Are you sure you don't know what caprice encore means?
I told you, I can't help you with that.
What am I paying you for again?
Gabriel has a photocopy of the official police file containing the partial patterns from the voodoo murders.
Okay.
You're listening to KLEB in New Orleans, where we play the best music 24 hours a day. Don't that night.
Okay, so I guess the first thing we'll do, since it's the only thing I know that's going to be different for sure, is that we can go talk to Dr. John at the museum.
Gabriel?
I'm going out.
Have fun.
Welcome, my friend.
Hello.
I am the proprietor, Dr. John. If you have any questions, I will be happy to assist.
Great. My name is Knight, and I'll probably take you up on that.
Sorry, I'll be right back. Okay.
Dr. John is a huge man. If his manner weren't so pleasant, he'd be intimidating. Given the man's size, that doesn't seem advisable.
Could I ask you some questions?
That is why I am here.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Historical voodoo? Or the voodoo currently practiced in the city?
Historical, I guess.
Tell me about historical voodoo.
Very well. I will start at the beginning, Mr. Knight, and will go on from there at your prompting.
Sounds good.
As you may know, voodoo is a grassroots religion formed by the mixing together of many different African tribal religions and Anglo religions, such as Catholicism or Protestantism. In other words, it is a religion born of the African slave trade, but African slaves were imported not only by the United States, but also into the West Indies where the French and Spanish ran plantation islands. Prior to 1803, the New Orleans area was owned by France. The French Creole in those days owned many African slaves. But the Creole did not permit their slaves to gather, giving no chance for voodoo to breed here natively. The Creole also knew enough about the corrupted pagan practices of the West Indies slaves to ban the importing of slaves from that region.
So, how did voodoo come to New Orleans?
After the Louisiana Purchase, American legislators relaxed regulations. Slaves were permitted to gather. The Americans also removed the ban on West Indies slaves. Around the same time, a slave revolt occurred in Santo Domingo, what is now Haiti. Between the lifting of the ban and the Haitian revolt, West Indies slaves began pouring into New Orleans. Some of them were free people of color, freed or escaped slaves. Some came with their white owners who were fleeing from the revolt.
What happened when the West Indies slaves got here?
They brought voodoo with them. The native slaves were more than enthusiastic about embracing it. It gave them power, Mr. Knight, if only in the form of a communal bond. Among the first meeting places were the Bayou Saint John and the shore of Lake Pontchartrain. The early voodoos were heavy snake worshippers, worshipping the one they called the Great Zombie.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
By 1817, the voodoo activities were beginning to cause fear among the white slave owners. An ordinance was passed to forbid slave gatherings except in designated public areas at designated times. The time was Sunday afternoons and the place, Congo Square. The slaves and free people of color gathered to dance simulations of their voodoo dances right in sight of Creole society. Of course, they also continued to meet in private for the real thing.
Tell me more about historical voodoo.
There were a variety of kings and queens at first, voodoo priests and priestesses. But from about 1830, a single power emerged. This was a voodoo queen named Marie Laveau. Marie Laveau ruled voodoo in New Orleans for many years.
Tell me more about...
I've given you as much detail as I can, Mr. Knight. Look around the museum if you desire more information.
Alright, well, we already knew about Marie Laveau. If I recall, we just looked at her tomb and we already knew that she was a famous voodoo priestess. She's on the list of things to talk about now. That's cool. Alright, let's talk about current voodoo.
Tell me about current voodoo.
Many people think of voodoo in terms of magic spells or gree-gree. That kind of practice is actually called hoodoo, and is only a part of true voodoo. Voodoo, the religion, has a strong following in New Orleans. In fact, it is growing quite rapidly. There are several voodoo churches or temples in the city, and others all across the United States. African Americans see it as a tradition all their own. Whites, and there are many in their religion, are attracted to it because they think it is exotic. I, personally, am more interested in the history of voodoo. Some of the new movements are copying Haitian or even African voodoo, but it is the voodoo of New Orleans that I find so intriguing.
It's an entry for hoodoo now.
Tell me more about...
There are many voodooians in New Orleans. They often do business selling gree-gree, telling fortunes, providing luck, and occasionally misfortune. Perhaps you would like to meet a voodooian. We refer those who seek a deeper experience with voodoo to a local practitioner, Magentia Moonbeam.
Sure, I'd love to meet her.
She lives on the corner of Orleans and Dauphine. I will call her and tell her you might stop by.
Great, thanks.
Cool.
Tell me more.
You have tapped my resources. My expertise is really historical. Perhaps Ms. Moonbeam can be of further help.
Tell me about hoodoo.
What exactly is hoodoo?
Hoodoo refers to magic folk traditions of the South. Hoodoo is a bastard of voodoo. Many of the gree-gree are similar, but hoodoo does not have the religious aspects of voodoo.
I don't know what gree-gree is. I keep saying it like I should just know what it is. Gree-gree. Gree-gree. sometimes also Gregory or Gary, is a voodoo amulet from Africa which is believed to protect the wearer from evil, or it brings luck. Or in some countries a method of birth control. Damn. According to a 1982 survey, grigri were one of the top 3 methods of contraception known to women in Senegal. Preceded by abstinence and roots and herbs.
Is there anything else I should know about voodoo?
Not if your interest is primarily in voodoo. Hoodoo is of interest to those who study rural folk traditions, but it will not aid you in understanding true voodoo.
Is there any...
Not
Okay. Yeah,
What can you tell...
historical.
okay.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The killings in the newspaper. I know that they have nothing to do with true voodoo in New Orleans.
Really? You say that with remarkable assurity.
What makes you think the voodoo murders aren't being done by local practitioners?
Voodoo is a popular boogeyman, Mr. Knight, especially in New Orleans. Anyone can pretend to use it, just as anyone can pretend to be a black belt in karate, and for the same reason, to intimidate. I know voodoo in this city, Mr. Knight, and believe me, it is not about killing. Even the police have stated that the killings have nothing to do with local voodoo.
Doesn't fill me with a whole lot of confidence.
So you know nothing about the voodoo murders case?
I neither know nor care to know, Mr. Knight. My only possible interest is in how it might affect the public's attitude towards the museum. So far, it has not been an issue. No one has even had the bad taste to bring it up. Until you, that is.
Sorry.
So,
I need... So
what do you think of New Orleans?
it is the only city in the United States as far as I am concerned.
What is it about New Orleans that you so admire?
It has a real culture of its own, Mr. Knight, amid the horrid blandness that is Americana. New Orleans alone has a voice.
Spoken like a true New Orleanian.
That's a mouthful. New Orleanian?
Do you have anything else to say about New Orleans?
I have already given you my opinion, Mr. Knight.
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
It is one of the important ceremonial nights in voodoo.
Okay.
What else can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I am afraid I do not know the origins of St. John's Eve. I only know that it was a night of ritual long before voodoo came to New Orleans.
What else can you Do you have any idea what Cabri Saint-Gare means?
I fear my French is not all it should be, Mr. Knight.
Somebody's lying.
You're sure you haven't heard the term Cabri Saint-Gare?
I am sure, Mr. Knight.
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
No, I have not.
Have you? Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
There were actually two Marie Laveaux, mother and daughter. Most people thought they were the same woman. Her continued youth added to the mystique. The original, the mother, was also known as Widow Paris. It was she that began the empire, When the widow Paris began to practice, there were many voodooans in the city. By 1830, she was voodoo queen of all New Orleans.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
The widow Paris was a hairdresser for rich Creole ladies. She also paid household servants to spy for her. Between the two, she knew everything about everyone who mattered in New Orleans. She was not above using her information to appear psychic, to intimidate, or even to blackmail.
You sound as though you admire her.
For a black woman in the mid-1800s to gain power is an incredible thing, Mr. Knight, however she achieved it.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
She kept a pet snake, danced with it too. She held traditional voodoo ceremonies out by the lake. She took herself seriously, very seriously. But she was not above selling tickets for her events to curiosity seekers. She was not above using voodoo any way she could to make money, that is for certain. But if she had been in another line of work, in another age, that would have been interpreted as entrepreneurial genius rather than a sign of fraudulence.
Hey, you don't need to convince me. I admire anyone that can actually make a living.
I love Tim Curry.
Tell me more.
She
Oops.
invented hundreds, if not thousands of spells, potions, charms, and incantations. These form the basis of the modern practice, not to mention the folk tradition of voodoo.
Tell me.
Her daughter, Marie Glapion, took over when the widow Paris got old. Most people thought it was the same Marie Laveau. Both Maries encouraged that point of view. The widow Paris died in 1881. Marie Glapion had been reigning a long time by then. After the death of the widow Paris, other voodoo queens surfaced, and by 1890, the cult was fragmented again. Marie Glapion just sort of faded away.
Tell me.
The Laveau tomb, where one or both of the Maries are believed to be buried, is in St. Louis Cemetery number 1. It is a popular shrine for practitioners and tourists alike. I myself take tours through the cemetery on a regular basis.
Really? Do you have any running this week?
No, but the cemetery is open to the general public as well.
Okay.
Tell me.
You have heard everything about Marie Laveau that a layman might expect to understand.
Okay.
Tell me about yourself.
Me?
Yes, if you don't mind.
What is it you wish to learn?
Have you ever been aboard a starship? Just wondering.
Why did you open a voodoo museum?
The subject has fascinated me all my life, and I wanted to help preserve the cultural heritage it represents.
What kind of background in voodoo do you have?
Let us say that I cut my teeth on it, Mr. Knight. It is in my blood.
Do you do anything besides run the museum?
No. The museum does not make me a rich man, but my material needs are simple. I prefer to focus on my one true interest in life.
What are your own religious beliefs?
My beliefs are too personal and too complex to discuss with a layman, Mr. Knight.
Just tell me anything.
I am originally from the West Indies myself, you know.
Really? What brought you to New Orleans?
I was drawn here for personal reasons.
Okay.
Just tell me.
I am a vegetarian.
Really? I can't imagine living without meat.
That must be the hunter in you, Mr. Knight.
Hmm.
Just tell me anything.
I do not care for small talk, Mr. Knight.
Okay.
Actually,
Then,
Okay, I think we've exhausted all this for now. Not much else I can take. Oh yeah, the switch. Let's try the switch. Let's save before I try the switch.
Gabriel has no interest in the noisy fan at the moment.
Okay, that's fair.
Even if that were for...
I wish Malia Getty was permanently grafted to my thighs.
That is vivid
I
imagery.
wish my publisher would actually promote one of my novels for a change.
The Historical Voodoo Museum. Dr. John.
Okay, so I mean, we learned a lot about voodoo, and I mean, the tone went off a few times, but I think the only thing we really got out of it was, well, we got Marie Laveau and hoodoo as conversation options, but when he mentioned Marie Laveau, and specifically he mentioned the tomb in the cemetery, it dinged, like, so let's go back there.
The doorway is... Gabriel.
Ugh.
Gabriel. The doorway...
I know it's open, can I just go through it?
Thanks a lot. Bye now.
walk carefully out there, Mr. Knight.
Oh yeah, we got this. The voodoo yen. In the Gede estate. Let's go talk to the Magentia. Moonbeam?
Welcome, Seeker. You must be the one Dr. John called me about.
I guess so. My name is...
Wait, Gabriel Knight?
You're too quick for me.
Actually, Dr. John told me. You have come to the right place, Mr. Knight. Tell me how I can help.
A large crystal ball is prominently displayed. A large sluggish snake rests on the floor of the fancy bird cage. Apparently, Magenta is not a fastidious housekeeper. A shed skin shares the cage with its original owner. The mask is made of carved wood and looks African. The shelf holds a variety of unusual objects, the kind of thing Gabriel refers to as junk. It's a large cluster of quartz crystals. The Moonbeam residence looks like a cross between a voodoo temple and a Victorian fortune teller's parlor, by way of Haight Street.
Nice.
The Moonbeam... Magenta Moonbeam is wrapped in gauze and silks. She looks vaguely mysterious and mysteriously vague. The Moonbeam...
Dr. John tells me you're a voodoo practitioner of some kind.
Yes, I am a voodoo yen, a voodoo priestess.
I wanted to turn the music down a bit.
you get many people in here on an average day?
Some days the need for my power is greater than others. But I have many regular clients who would be lost without my vision, Mr. Knight.
I can imagine. That's a great-looking mask on the wall.
It's from Africa, a gift to me from Queen Tabitha.
Okay. Who's Queen Tabitha?
Do you know Dr. John well?
Oh, yes, we are old friends. Those with gifts are often drawn together.
So, let's say I came to you wanting to attract a woman. Well, what would you advise?
Oh, I wouldn't think you'd have any trouble attracting women, Mr. Knight.
No. I guess I don't. So, what advice do you give your clients?
I tell them to follow the light, beware of the darkness, and always get expert spiritual advice from someone with the sight.
That's what I thought you'd say. So, That's what I... Could I ask you a few questions?
Of course, Seeker.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
My practice is mainly selling charms and potions with magic power, such as gree-gree and voodoo oils. You know, everything from unrequited love to wandering spouses to winning a lawsuit. But my spells and charms are powerful, and they work.
I'm sure they do.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Much of a voodoo yen's work is protecting her clients from the spell of others. I make special protective gree-gree to be worn in secret. They keep evil spells from working against my clients.
What can you tell me about...
The recipes for voodoo charms have been handed down from master to apprentice for centuries.
What can you...
I have told you all it is proper for you to know, Monsieur Knight.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
Why, that has nothing to do with me and my clientele. But I can tell you that you should stay as far from it as possible. There is badness there. Very bad.
So you don't think the voodoo aspects of the case are fake?
Fake? Let me tell you about fake. If I get information through the grapevine and make use of it, is that fake? No. That is part of a voodoo yen's power. If people don't believe, there is not much I can do. But if they do believe, that is a part of my power too. But there are things, monsieur, things not even a little bit fake, I can tell you. Believe it or not, but stay away from it.
What do you mean? Do you know something about the case?
I work hard on fine-tuning my spiritual antenna, Monsieur Knight, and I get a clear signal from that direction. Beware.
What do you mean?
I work hard.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
New Orleans is the center of voodoo practice in the United States.
No kidding.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
It is a fascinating city with many dark secrets.
What can you tell me about New Orleans?
It is my favorite place in the world.
These are not very helpful
What can you tell me about New
tidbits
Orleans?
about New Orleans.
It is my favorite place.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
St. John's Eve. It is the greatest night of the voodoo year. There is always a traditional conclave on St. John's Eve. Most of our voodoo churches these days hold functions in the church hall. But in the old days, They had ceremonies out in the wild, and they wore animal masks and had a huge bonfire and dancing. I used to go when I was an apprentice. Sometimes in the swamp, you know, Bayou St. John. Sometimes at the Lake Pontchartrain.
What's the significance of St. John's Eve?
Special ceremonies are performed, and the Loa come to ride the faithful.
Hmm.
What's the significance?
There is no night more powerful to voodoo magic.
What's...
There is...
Do you have any idea what Caprice Saint-Coeur means?
No. No, I don't.
Do you have any...
Why does no one want to talk to me about this?
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Oh, yes. She was the first of the great voodoo queens.
Do you know anything about...
She ruled voodoo in New Orleans for 100 years, they say.
Do you know...
I'm sure a historian could help you with that, if you want to know more.
Tell me about the animal masks.
I saw them used once or twice when I was younger, but you don't see them much anymore. They're too close.
Hmm.
Too close to what?
Just bad karma.
Tell me about the
I don't know what else to say about that.
Have you ever heard the word Schottenjäger?
I don't know anything about that.
Give me an example of a gris-gris.
All right. Here's an old one. Take a lodestone and some brimstone to a crossroads at midnight. Light the brimstone with a match, and a spirit will come and give you advice in gambling.
Give me an example of...
Here's an old hoodoo Dr. Gree-Gree. Place a dime under your client's tongue, and if the client is under a spell of any kind, the dime will turn black.
Gross.
Give me an
To send someone away, take a rotten egg and write that person's name on it 9 times. You can also write on it where you want to send that person to. Take it and throw it against his door at midnight.
Give me an...
Here's a nasty one. To kill someone, get a sock or a shoe that belongs to that person. Put graveyard dirt in it and bury it under their front steps.
Does that work?
I don't know. I never tried it.
Give me an example.
To ensure the safety of your child, cut a lock of its hair while it is still a baby and keep it with you. The child must have all its hair before it can die.
These are interesting.
They're very old. The gree-gree that I prepare is much more powerful, I can assure you, but I don't give out those secrets.
Give me a...
All right.
Those are ones I've already heard.
Tell me about yourself.
Yes? What would you like to hear?
How'd you get into this business?
I trained in the voodoo arts for many years with the great Queen Tabitha.
Really? Who's she?
You have never heard of her? For shame! I can see you know little of the world of magic.
I'm beginning to get that impression, yes. What kind of people come to see you?
Seekers after the truth, such as yourself.
Do you do anything else?
I am a voodoo yen, and that is plenty. It takes much spiritual effort.
How many voodoo yens are there?
No one knows exactly. Many practice in secret. There are probably hundreds. But of course the level and the power of the voodoo yens differ greatly, depending on their training and natural gifts.
Tell me anything at all.
I haven't always lived in New Orleans.
Kansas.
I came here from Kansas as a young woman.
Tell me anything at all.
I began studying voodoo more than 20 years ago. I am well versed in the magical art.
Tell me,
Many non-believers come to me. They are usually believers when they leave.
tell me,
Dr. John sends me many seekers such as yourself.
tell me,
I am happy here with my clientele and my snake.
tell me.
I haven't always
I can't think of anything.
very
She didn't really tell me what the Loa were. That's the only thing that I was missing from this conversation. Loa is a god in the voodoo cult of Haiti. Or Loa are the spirits of Haitian voodoo and Louisiana voodoo. Okay.
Please remain seated within the protective circle.
Okay.
There are spiritual currents in this room that I can't always control.
Thanks for the warning.
Okay. Let's show her some stuff here. Huh?
Could you look at this and tell me if you recognize anything about it?
That's from those voodoo murders, isn't it? That has nothing to do with me.
Okay, I'm not accusing you of anything.
Does this mean anything to you?
I can be of no help to you, Seeker.
Yeah, you want a gift certificate to my store?
Could you use this?
Do you carry New Age books?
No.
Then I'm not interested.
You and everyone else on the planet. Does this mean anything to you?
I can be of no help to you, Seeker.
Does this mean anything to you?
I can be of no...
Does this...
Okay, she's got to know something about the symbols, right? Yeah.
Does this mean anything to
She
you?
took it.
These are magic symbols. Deep magic.
Really? Have you seen them before?
No?
Then how do you know they're magic symbols?
Seeker, my eyes are unveiled to see truly that which is in front of me.
Uh-huh. Thanks. Tons.
Okay, well that wasn't really enlightening. Do you want some hair gel?
Does this mean any...
Okay.
Magentia's bottles probably contain secret ritual concoctions.
So she wouldn't let me go. Do I have to actually go this way? Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll be gone now.
As you wish.
Okay, so we didn't really get a whole lot out of that. I'll go back to the drugstore and see if this guy has anything new to say.
Hello?
Hello.
Bonjour, Monsieur Walker.
Oh, bienvenue, Madame Casino. Comment ça va? How you be feeling today?
Well, I'll tell you, Mr. Walker, I'm certain someone's buried a sleep note bag somewhere near my steps. I haven't slept a wink in weeks.
Oh, don't that beat all? Well, you're gonna need some easy night candles then.
Do you think that would help? I do hope you're right. I said 3 rosaries this morning for Our Lady's intervention.
Rosaries are good, sure enough. But you burn those candles too and you're gonna whip any old no-sleep gree-gree, I tell you for sure.
Very well, Mr. Walker. Put them on my account and send them round to my house. Oh, and there's another thing. I didn't catch her at it, but I know Mrs. Lefebvre put stomachache powder in my tea at the last meeting of the Creole Grand Dames. Oh, I've been in misery.
You put 9 pinheads up in a little box, add a pinch of graveyard dust, and put it under her front porch step. That'll turn the trick back on Mrs. Lefebvre, and she'll be the one with the bellyache. I have the pins and the dust right here if you want them.
If the Blessed Virgin will grant me her protection, I'll be safe from these practitioners of evil.
Oui, madame. Though it don't hurt to be proactive none neither, now does it?
Naturellement, monsieur. Merci beaucoup.
Mais non, madame. It is nothing. Au revoir.
Au revoir, Monsieur Walker.
That one with the pinhead sounded a little too close to the one that causes death. I don't remember what Moonbeam said, but it was definitely get graveyard dirt and buried under the front porch. Okay, so who is this other woman? Is Madame Cavanaugh?
Nice weather we're having.
Don't bother me. Can't you see I'm busy? St. John's Eve is coming and I got to be ready.
Well, what do you think of... Actually, let's talk to him. Probably ask him about this other stuff.
Can I ask you just a few more questions?
Whatever, man. I don't have your answers, B.
What do you know?
Monsieur,
What can you
if you're not from around here,
What's the significance?
I've said...
What did you...
I did?
Have you ever heard of Marie Laveau?
Marie? She's somebody from the old days. One of those folk tales. Oh, the tourists eat it up, non.
Have you ever heard of Marie Laveau?
I don't know much, monsieur. Someone at Voodoo Museum can tell you all about her.
Have you ever heard of...
I don't know.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
Like the ones in the voodoo rituals they do for the tourists?
Right.
I used to sell a few as souvenirs. The only one left is Willie Jr. over there. The old crocodile. Well, he's sort of a mascot now, him.
Can you tell me anything else about how animal masks are used?
They're curiosities, no? This is a curio shop.
Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting. Can you... Oh. Have you ever...
Man, I don't even know what language that is.
Tell me about... How did you get in?
Why should I...
That customer of yours, the little old lady,
Customer?
the woman I saw in here, Madame Cazeneuve, you called her.
I don't talk about my customers to men who come in off the street.
Okay.
It's important that I talk to Madame Cazeneuve.
Why?
You see, I'm doing some research and...
I can't tell you anything about her. I can't...
About Willie Jr., would you be willing to let him go?
Maybe. For $100.
$100? You gotta be kidding.
Me and Willie Jr. very close now. I could part with him for less.
Why is that a thing? Okay.
Would you take 50 for Willie Jr.?
Don't insult me, monsieur. The price is $100.
Would you...
Don't...
Okay, well, he didn't really give me much to work with. How about this?
Does this...
I don't...
Do you recognize this pattern?
Don't look familiar at all, sir.
Everyone is
This
completely,
is the first page of inventory.
completely unhelpful. Okay, so we talked to Dr. John, talked to him here. Let's just check out every place. See if anybody new is there or something's changed. Hey, an artist.
An artist is taking advantage of the fine weather.
Nice drawing of the cathedral.
Thanks.
It's really precise.
Well, I'm an architectural student, actually. It's good practice.
Mm-hmm.
Could I ask you some questions?
I'd rather not. I really get focused when I'm drawing.
Okay, fine.
Would he be interested in this?
Say, do you think there's anything you can do with these patterns?
I'm kind of busy, and I don't normally do requests.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he would know about anything else.
What would the artist do with that? What
Buy a book on art? Maybe I don't have those either.
Jackson, the juggler looks like a beginner practicing the act. The juggler is busy.
I guess so. Oh, the cop's gone. Hey, tap dancer.
A small boy is tap dancing enthusiastically for a lucky dog vendor. Interrogating the little boy wouldn't be very useful. The lucky dog vendor has his nose buried in a paperback novel. Gabriel noticed that it is not. Big surprise. One appears.
Could I get a lucky dog, please?
Not now, I'm busy.
What's with the...
An unambitious person? In the 90s? Ah, amazing.
Oh, the audio's so far behind.
You mind if I ask you a few questions?
Yep, I mind all right.
Oh, come on.
What?
Cause A, I don't know anything, and B, I'm busy.
Oh.
Okay. I don't recognize those two. Which one was it? This one? I don't know if it's always consistent like this, but I don't recognize the mom and his kid. Okay. I don't know. I think there were other new people down on the square too when I was down there. Let's see.
The other part.
Yeah. Okay. At the bar. Maybe they're done with their game now. Guess not.
Nothing like a good game of chess, huh?
Yeah, well, this isn't a good game. This is torture.
Oh well. Have fun. Excuse me.
But game, this isn't a game.
He's right, you know, so let me die in peace.
Okay, fine.
Could I ask you a few questions?
Sure. I'm not too busy at the moment.
Have you ever heard of Marie Laveau?
Sure. She's kind of the patron saint of voodoo in New Orleans. Don't know too much about her, but tourists sure get off on all that stuff.
Have you?
There's a voodoo museum in town. They'd know more about it than I do.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
Come Mardi Gras, you see all kinds of masks in here.
Do you know?
Come Mardi Gras.
So what?
That's about all I can.
Okay. Do you want this?
Does this mean anything?
No. What about the patterns? You're not gonna know anything about the patterns.
Does this mean anything to you?
I didn't
Can't
think so.
say that.
Does this mean anything to you?
Yeah.
Does?
Yeah,
Does?
No.
Okay. Well, these guys are not helpful.
Shut up, Marcus.
They're fixing the thermostat. Ooh, I wanted stuff.
It looks a bit heavy. Gabriel can't do that from the...
You've already got me, you lucky devil.
The doorway. There is not...
I don't know what I want. All the way up, I guess?
It looks... There's a photocopy machine. The electrician has left. Why do they... Gabriel is no handyman. He has an aversion to screwdrivers of the non-liquid variety.
Hey, mostly.
Knight, I had a feeling you'd show up. Whew, it's hot in here. Dang, the air conditioning must be on the blink.
Yeah, totally.
Are you hot? Man, I'm hot.
Ooh, ooh. That's what I needed them good coffee for. Let's see, can I look at it?
Mosley's coat is on the chair. His badge is in the front coat pocket.
Hmm. Totally go for some coffee.
Can I ask you? How about getting me? Please, please.
All right. Some people.
I think I'll just borrow this badge.
Hey, what are you doing with my coat?
Nothing. I thought I saw something crawling on it.
Just drink this.
Thanks. Ton.
Okay. We can see if you know
Can I
anything
ask you
else.
about... Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Is she that red-headed chick that works at Freddy's?
No.
Then I don't know her.
Do you know...
I told...
Do you know anything about animal masks?
Animal masks? You mean like those Halloween masks they sometimes use in robberies?
I don't think so. More like real animals.
Never ran across anything like that.
Do you know...
And
I don't think...
never...
What's the status on...
Yours filled in?
Okay. Well, have his badge. That's good.
Gabriel is carrying Mosley's badge.
You could probably use it to get into the
Yeah.
Gedda estate.
I'm gonna hit the road.
Chad.
Gabriel decides to give Mosley a break and not change the temperature again.
Excuse me, officer.
Yes?
Oh,
Fine.
phew, it's humid out there. Made it back, though.
The excitement of seeing you is killing me.
Got a... Do you...
Wasn't she a...
That's...
Well, you just heard everything.
Do you have messages?
Nope.
Could you...
Sure.
I need you to look up a Madame Cazeneuve.
Madame Cazeneuve? Is she related to the murders the same way your friend, Malia Getty, was?
Grace, Cazeneuve's at least 70.
As if that makes a difference to you. Okay, I'll see what I can find. Anything else?
What about Gedda?
I can't think of it.
Okay.
Do you have anything on her, please?
Could you...
Sure.
I can't...
Okay.
Okay, well, let's try the estate.
I'll be back later.
See ya.
Let's go... Let's check out the crime scene, see if things changed. Apparently not. Can I use this with this?
Using that on the lines wouldn't be helpful.
Okay.
Gabriel can...
Oh, she already did give me the research.
help you?
The research was to her address. Okay, Grace, fine.
I'd like to see Malia Getty, please. I'm sorry, but unless you have an appointment or official business, I cannot announce you.
It's Tim Curry. I do have official business.
I do have official business. Really? Please tell me the nature of your business.
My bottle, sir.
My name is Detective Mosley. I'm here on police business. Really? How interesting. Wait here. I'll inform Miss Getty. Miss Getty will see you. Right this way. Miss Getty will be down shortly. Thank you.
What can I do for you, Detective?
This is quite a place.
Thank you. It's been in the family a long time.
Done anything exciting lately?
I'm sorry, but I'm very busy. Can we get to the point?
So, what's new?
Nothing that would...
That's just small talk.
Mind if I ask you a few questions, Miss Getty?
I assume that's what you're here for, Detective.
What can you tell me about voodoo?
Voodoo? Why would you want to know about that, Detective? It's rather silly, isn't it?
There's nothing silly about the voodoo murders.
But that voodoo is faked. That's what I've read in the papers.
That's what the papers say, all right.
But you're not convinced?
No, frankly, I'm not. The police department isn't known for its imagination.
Oh. Well, I can see that your imagination is considerable.
Are you sure you can't tell me anything about voodoo?
I really don't know much about it. Isn't there some place in town that you can find out about that sort of thing? A museum or something?
I believe there is a museum.
Then maybe you should check there.
Are you
Quite sure.
What do you know about the voodoo murders?
The murders? Only what I read in the papers.
And what do you read in the papers?
I'm sure you know much more about it than I, Detective.
What do you know about
the murder?
Tell me about your life in New Orleans.
The Getty family came to New Orleans in 1800. We worked very hard to get where we are. On the other hand, we've done a lot for this community.
I can believe that. You're doing a lot for me right now.
Ugh.
Tell me more about...
I'm afraid I don't get out into New Orleans society much. Because of the Getty money, we have slots in the best country clubs and on the best Mardi Gras courts. But I must admit, I hate it. I avoid actually making an appearance unless it becomes absolutely necessary.
I know about those courts. They're very exclusive.
Yes, especially when it comes to people of my race. That's why we don't turn down the appointments. It's a rare opportunity to rub their noses in it. But that's not where I spend my time. I have more important things to do with my life.
That's admirable. Many women would love the chance to get caught up in that kind of life.
I'm not any kind of woman you might be familiar with.
Yes, I can see that. Tell me more.
I don't know what else you want to hear, Detective. Anything you might care to know about my public life you can easily look up in the papers.
Tell me.
I don't...
What can you tell me about St. John's Eve?
I believe it's some sort of local holiday, but I don't know much about it.
What can you tell me?
I believe it's some...
I'll be right back.
Do you have any idea what Cabri Saint-Gar means?
No, I don't. What does it mean, Detective?
That's confidential information, ma'am. Do you have any
Slick.
idea what...
No.
Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
I have heard of her, of course, but that's about it.
Do you know...
I have
Do you know anything about animal masks?
animal masks? I don't know what you mean.
Do you...
Animal...
Have you ever heard of a Schottenjäger?
No, I'm afraid I can't help you with that, Detective.
Flirt with her. Oh, Jesus.
Tell me about yourself.
I suppose I don't really have a choice. What do you want to know, Detective?
What kind of things interest you?
I don't have a lot of free time, but I do appreciate the arts. Opera, symphony, ballet, fine art. If you look around, you'll see that we collect African art, for example.
Yes, it's very beautiful.
It is, Detective. It means a great deal to me.
Do you have a career?
A career? Being the head of the Getty family is a 24-hour-a-day job. We have many holdings and many responsibilities, financial and otherwise. The management of our business affairs and properties leaves me with time for little else.
Poor little rich girl?
Believe it or not, Detective, wealth does have its price.
Tell me about your family.
The Gettys? We're a very private family.
How many people are there in your family?
Well, my mother just passed away.
I am sorry.
So am I. She was a magnificent woman. We were very close. I was an only child.
And your father?
I never knew him.
It's hard to believe that any man would leave a woman like you. Or like your mother must have been.
He did not leave, Detective. But that's really none of your concern.
I'm sorry. Go on.
There are, of course, other Gettys in the city. I have a large, extended family.
I see. Do you have a husband? A boyfriend?
I'm very independent, Detective. The women in my family have always preferred it that way.
So, you've never been married?
No, and I never will be.
What about children?
Yes, that is likely. Someday.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
I do a lot of charity work around the city, primarily in the prison and reform system. I'm not a professional sociologist, but it does interest me.
I'd like to hear...
I have a business degree from Vanderbilt. I wanted to study psychology, but my family's interests came first.
Oh? Why not something like law, then? Surely that would have been an asset to the family.
Law? Please. I do have some morals, Detective.
Huh. Nice.
I'd like to hear just about anything.
For the record, I'm 28, Detective.
That's...
I'd like to hear just
good
about
to know.
anything.
I have a few friends. A woman in my position can't really afford them.
I'd like to hear...
I try to stay away from the media as much as possible. Last year there was that story about John Kennedy Jr. and I. The phone didn't stop ringing for weeks. I prefer to keep my private life private. I would appreciate it if you would keep my name away from any public association with the police, Detective.
Of course. I'd like...
I do a lot of...
Okay.
As you...
Can you tell me anything about what happened out at the lake?
I wish I could, but I've never seen or heard anything unusual at the lake, and I do spend quite a bit of time out there.
Can you tell me anything about what happened out at the...
I wish I...
Tell me.
What else do you want to know, Detective?
I guess I already did that one.
I wouldn't...
As you...
Excuse me, but your eyes are really distracting. I don't think I've ever seen a color quite like that. Brownish gold. It's so deep and rich. Man, if I could bottle that,
Okay.
I'd make a fortune.
Crossing
Thank you,
a
Detective.
weird line there.
That's an interesting observation, though probably not relevant to your case.
A good detective never knows what might be relevant, Miss Getty.
Then you must be truly exceptional at your job. I think this has gone on long enough. You're not really a detective, are you?
Who, me? Well, I am on this case, Miss Getty.
I saw you at the lake yesterday. I thought you must be with the police since you were there, but you don't act like a police officer. Besides, I'm rather certain that the other man said his name was Mosley.
All right, you caught me. I'm not with the police. My name is Gabriel Knight. I'm a writer working with Detective Mosley on a book.
Well, Mr. Knight, now that we've established who you are, perhaps you can tell me the real reason you're here.
Well, I am researching the book, and I thought you might have seen or heard something at the lake.
I don't like liars, Mr. Knight.
Okay, you're right. I really just wanted to see you again. You can be mad at me if you want, but I swear I've never done anything like this before.
Mr. Knight, you've lied about your identity and wasted my time with meaningless questions. If it weren't vaguely flattering, I'd really be angry. You're lucky I don't call the real police. I think you should go, Mr. Knight.
Malia, wait. If you just give me a chance.
I've wasted enough time. I'll have Robert show you out.
The way the volume is not consistent, along with the timing,
Robert,
is kind of annoying.
show Mr. Knight out, please.
I most certainly will.
They're talking to himself.
Thank you very much. I had a lovely time. Ah, shit.
What?
Miss Geddy is busy, officer, and has instructed me to wish you good luck. That is all.
Rocker.
If you'll just tell her, goodbye, sir.
Alright, let's see.
Tall, narrow shutters provide beauty and protection. Potted roses mark the entrance to the house. Gabriel didn't come here to mess with the plants.
Can I go around, maybe?
This is private property. This...
Okay. Fine. Alright. Nope. I don't think Grandma's gonna know anything else. I could ask her about Marie Laveau. Symbols, maybe? I don't know.
Please select. Please select.
It's my favorite grandson. How nice.
Your only grandson, but nice try, Gran.
Me.
Can we talk? Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Marie Laveau. Of course. She was that voodoo woman, wasn't she? She preyed on people's fears and superstitions is what I think. There are always those willing to take other people's money for nothing. You stay away from people like that, Gabriel.
Yes, Gran. Do you know anything about animal masks?
Why, no, dear. Do you mean Mardi Gras masks?
Never mind, Gran. Do you know anything else about Heinz Ritter?
I've told...
Okay.
Does this mean anything to you, Gran?
Sorry.
Yeah, she's not gonna want this, right?
Does this...
So...
Okay.
Well, Gran...
What else?
Phew!
Oh, boy.
Seen any good movies?
I saw a great documentary last night on pyramid excavations.
You mean small, dark places that haven't been touched in centuries? Sounds
Oh,
right
snap.
up your alley.
Well, it did help me gain a better understanding of your mind.
Hmm. Good one, Gabriel.
Got a minute, Grace?
What's up?
Could you?
Sure.
Okay.
I can't.
Okay.
Like my bag?
Where did you get that?
Mosley let me borrow it.
Gabriel, you're such a shit. I'm gonna call him up right now and tell him you have that.
No, I might need it. I'll give it back to him later.
Well, I hope he throws you in jail when you do.
Do you know anything about this?
No.
Okay.
Gabriel.
Did I avoid?
What else is there? We can talk to Mosley again, so maybe he knows something. Or give him his badge back at least.
Hey, bud.
You! Last time I looked.
Give me my badge right now.
Oh, is that why you're so excited? If you knew what I needed it for.
I'm sure it was to impress a woman. You could have asked. Do you know how embarrassing it is to admit your badge was stolen? I had a photo with the chief, and he wanted me wearing it. I should lock you up, Knight.
I suppose you could. Seems to me, though, there was that time you borrowed my bike without mentioning it. Right from in front of my shop.
Yeah, don't remind me. Just don't do it again. Whew, it's hot in here. Dang, the air conditioning must be on the blink. Are you hot? Man, I'm hot.
I just take it again?
Can I have...
Oh, I can't ask him about coffee anymore.
Do you know anything?
I told...
What's the stuff?
Okay, well that's not helpful.
Mosley would only take that photocopy of
Right.
an intercom. How high-tech. Gabriel wouldn't know what to say.
Alright, well let's...
Well...
We'll talk to the desk clerk, Sergeant Frick.
Gabriel...
Hey, gotta say, do you know anything about...
Marie who? Is she the one that hangs out on Conti and Nash?
No. Never mind. I'm here to see Detective Mosley.
He's in his office. Go on back.
We could try the priest. Oh, the cemetery. I didn't go back to the cemetery yet.
Excuse me, sir?
Yeah? What can I do for you?
Mind if I... Do you know anything about Marie Laveau?
Sure. She was the voodoo queen of New Orleans. A powerful voodooine and a powerful sorceress. Believers still come to her tomb, you know. They write secret marks on the walls, leaving offerings and that. Then there's the tourists. They come out of curiosity. As a matter of fact, that big Dr. John fella from the Voodoo Museum, he's here at least once a day. But Marie Laveau's tomb ain't the only one the believers visit and make markings and leave offerings at.
Do tell. Yes, please tell me about these other tombs.
You said there were other marked tombs?
Yep. I seen bull hearts left on tombs and a nest of vulture feathers, plates of peas and corn green. Animal parts, human parts even, it looked like. Male parts, if you get my meaning. And this at one of the great family crypts, mind you.
Get a...
Odd how them types just pick a spot and stick to it.
What other tombs get marked? Can you show me?
No, I ain't one for naming names.
Oh, come on.
I don't like to encourage that kind of thing. It's distressing to the families, and rightly so. Don't know how that sort of thing gets started. Why folks come to start leaving stuff at that one spot. But it happens all the same.
What other...
No.
Do you know anything about animal masks?
I don't know what you talking about.
Have you ever heard the...
I don't know.
Tell me...
Just look around.
Does this mean anything to you?
Nope.
I mean, it has to be the Geta tomb, right?
The heavy marble doesn't budge. An angel draped dramatically. The imposing tomb is elaborately labeled Gede. Saint-Louis.
So we can go talk back to, go talk to Dr. John, since the groundskeeper said that he was here even today and came all the time. Come on, can we go, please? Thank you.
Hello, Dr. John.
Glad you could return to us, Mr. Knight.
Did I show him this?
Do these marks look familiar?
They look like the scribbling of a child to me.
Okay, thanks.
I'm sure they do. I don't know if I showed him the other photos.
Could you look at this and...
This is truly offensive. This is from one of those recent killings, is it not?
Well, actually...
But the police already know that this so-called voodoo ritual is fake. Voodoo is a respectable religion. This kind of thing has nothing to do with voodoo in this city.
Fine. Let's say that's true. Are you sure there's nothing about the items in this photo?
There is nothing about this sickness that I would identify as voodoo. Nothing.
Thanks for looking then.
Really? That's not worth the point?
Does this mean anything to you? Does this mean anything to you?
I cannot say that it does.
Does this mean anything to you? Could I ask you some more questions?
Of course. I also find our dialogue stimulating.
Do you know...
I used to have some antique African totem masks, but they were on the point of disintegration, so I removed them.
Tell me more about Marie Laveau.
You have...
Do you know Malia Getty?
Should I?
Oh, come on.
She referred me to your museum.
Many have read about our museum in the newspapers, Mr. Knight.
That's a good point.
Oh, come on.
So...
I need a... So...
Tell me more.
You have tapped.
I don't know. Why can't we interrogate him about why he's going to the cemetery all the time?
You're sure you...
I am sure.
Okay.
Gabriel has...
I'll be going.
Goodbye.
Could ask Magentia about...
Gabriel.
Hello.
Ask her about Malia, maybe?
Please,
Oh, can I
be
take,
seated.
Can I take that snake skin?
Magentia's snakes looks a little sickly, but Gabriel would still rather not stick his hand in the cage.
Okay, that's fine.
Dr. John tells me you're a...
Yes, I...
Could I ask... Do you know anything about
I'm sure a hist...
Do you have any idea...
no. No, I don't.
Magentia doesn't seem to know anything, so...
I haven't tried to give the gift certificate to John or Willie or Toussaint.
Well, I...
As...
I don't think I'm gonna learn anything else from him.
Hi. Uh-huh. Can I...
I can't...
Have you ever...
I don't know much, monsieur.
Okay.
Does
I don't... Don't look familiar at all, sir.
Does this... If I want to...
Why is everything so slow? Let's walk right through his performance. Very rude. Let's see, I haven't talked to the priest today. What is up with this?
Hey, come back here. Hey!
The artist would not. The artist is. The artist. The artist.
I'd like...
Gabriel.
What can I do with that?
The artist.
Should I go chase him?
Oh, unbelievable. Rotten luck!
Could I ask you... Okay. How's it going?
Well, life sucks.
What you working on now?
Just starting another drawing of the cathedral.
Do you mind...
Be my guest.
Do you mind...
An artist. There's her drawing caught up against the hedges. Gabriel can't reach the drawing from where he is.
I might be able to get it with anything I have now. Tweezers.
Using that on the... Gabriel can't reach the drawing from where he is.
Hey kid. You get this for me?
The other park visitors are enjoying their leisure and aren't interested in talking to Gabriel. Jackson Square is a good place. A wrought iron...
Well, even if I could get it, like, what is the significance of a drawing of the cathedral? Use the mine... I set it on fire? I don't know.
Using that... Using...
Okay. Well...
Say, do you think they're... Oh.
What would the artist do with that?
Do you mind...
Why be rude to... Gabriel doesn't want... The drummer... The jug... The juggler is busy. Why do...
You...
Yeah.
Why? Oh. Could I get...
And...
You dance pretty well for a kid.
Give me some money, then.
I don't have any.
Don't block the view, mister.
What would a little... Why would the... Gabriel... Using that... There's no... What?
Good question.
May I help you, my child?
I'd like to make it... Oh, some people say I'm a selfish person, Father.
We can always strive to improve ourselves. Patterns can be broken.
Yes. Thank you, Father.
Is there anything else? Good.
I feel like I'm eventually gonna be in there listening to someone else give a confession.
Gabriel cannot use the black shirt that way. There's no reason to wear...
Hey, Grace. Here I am.
The excitement of seeing you is killing me.
Got a minute?
What's up?
Do you have
Nope.
Could you?
Sure.
I can't.
Okay.
Gabriel...
It's no use.
I still don't know who I would call. A phone number.
That doesn't...
Like, will I be able to sell the painting to this guy?
Nope. No safe full of money back. That doesn't... Gabriel likes the painting where it is. Gabriel can't... That doesn't... St. George book.
Okay, well I'm gonna stop there for tonight though. I'll continue with the rest of day 2. But yeah, I will be on later. Tomorrow. Not later tonight. With some Lotro, and also probably continue this. So, see you then. Thanks for watching.